Okay, so you've been hurt in a car accident or some other accident that was caused by someone else. And you're probably seeing the TV commercials and the billboards on the highway screaming at you to get a lawyer now. But do you even need to? Is it even worth hiring a lawyer to help you with your injury case? Hi folks, my name's Kevin Jones. I'm a personal injury lawyer, and I get people who call me all the time that just want to know whether they have a case that makes sense to hire a lawyer to help with. And I know what you're thinking already. This guy's a personal injury lawyer. Of course he's going to tell us that we need to hire a personal injury lawyer to help with our injury case. But that's not what I'm going to tell you. The truth of the matter is that not every case warrants hiring a lawyer. At the end of the day, you should really only hire a lawyer if doing so is going to add significant value to your injury case. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about some ways that an injury lawyer can add significant value to an injury claim so that you can decide whether to reach out to a lawyer about helping you with your injury claim. But stay until the end because I'm also going to talk about some situations where a lawyer is probably not going to add enough value to justify his or her fees, and it may make more sense for you to go the DIY route. Let's first talk about some ways that an injury lawyer can add value to an injury case. The main reason my clients hire me is because they want to be treated fairly by the insurance company and they want to get fair compensation for their injuries. My clients are just ordinary folks. They're not looking to win the lottery, they just had something bad happen to them and they want the other side to take responsibility and pay what they owe. No more, no less. This usually means getting enough compensation to pay off medical bills, get reimbursed for lost wages, and get compensated for the pain and suffering and disruption that the injuries brought into my clients' lives. So why do you need an attorney to help you get fairly compensated? Can't you just trust the insurance company to fairly compensate you after you've been injured? Well, the short answer is that in most cases, no. Insurance industry studies have shown time and time again that insurance companies pay far less money to injury victims who are unrepresented than those who have an attorney assisting them with their injury claim. In fact, in one study by the Insurance Research Council, which is a think tank organization for the insurance industry, found that across 35,000 injury claims, insurance companies paid 3.5 times more in bodily injury settlements to injury victims who were represented by an attorney than those who were not. And in another insurance industry study involving commercial motor vehicles like box trucks, semi-trucks, tractor trailers, vehicles like that, insurance companies paid more than 14.3 times more to people who had attorneys representing them than those who did not. So why is that? Why do insurance companies pay more in bodily injury settlements when you have a lawyer? Well, think about it. If you go it alone, do you even know what your case is worth? Do you know what you're legally entitled to? Do you know how much to ask for? If not, how easy is it for you to get taken advantage of in that situation? It would be like someone holding a Mickey Mantle rookie card and trying to sell it on eBay with absolutely no knowledge of sports memorabilia or baseball. They might get an offer for $1,000 from somebody on the internet and think, wow, that is a lot of money, I should take that. But that's nowhere near what the Mickey Mantle rookie card is worth. It's the same deal with injury claims. If you don't know how much your injury case is worth, how are you going to know if you're getting a fair deal from the insurance company? Now, with an experienced attorney on your side, he or she is going to have handled many cases that are similar to yours and is going to be able to tell you what a fair settlement value or a fair settlement range is for your type of case and your type of injuries. And when you're armed with that knowledge, going into a settlement negotiation with an insurance company, you're going to be a lot less likely to leave money on the table when it comes time to settle your injury claim. An attorney is also going to help you get fairly compensated by making sure that you prove everything you need to prove to get fairly compensated for your injuries. And really what that boils down to is two things: proving that you were injured and that your injury was caused by someone else who violated the law. Insurance companies love to deny and discount bodily injury claims by arguing that you really weren't all that hurt in the accident, or that your injuries were really caused by something else other than the accident, or that you were partially at fault or totally at fault for causing your own injuries. An attorney is going to help you deal with and overcome all of these arguments, and sometimes that means investigating the circumstances of the accident, including interviewing witnesses, collecting documents and videos and reports and things of that nature that are all going to help prove that the other side was at fault for causing the accident. Sometimes that means educating an insurance adjuster about how the law is really on your side. And sometimes that means hiring the right experts who can forecast the financial consequences of your injury in terms of lost earnings and future medical bills, so that those things get factored into your settlement amount and so that you don't get shortchanged when it comes time to settle your claim with the insurance company. Another way that an injury lawyer can add value to an injury claim is by identifying all sources of insurance and compensation that may apply to your claims. Now, if you've been injured in a car accident, you may think the only way to get compensated for your injuries and reimbursed for your medical bills is to go through the at-fault driver's insurance company. But what if the at-fault driver was only carrying the state minimum level of coverage and you were seriously injured in the car accident? Well, the at-fault driver's insurance may not even cover all of the medical bills from the ER visit that you had right after the accident. You need to know if there are any additional ways to get compensated. Was the other driver on the job when he or she hit you? If so, then the other driver's employer may have auto insurance that could cover some of your injuries. Were you on the job? If so, not only would you be able to file a workers' compensation claim, but your employer may have auto insurance that would cover your medical bills and compensate you for your injuries. Are you entitled to any benefits under your own auto insurance policy, such as medical payments coverage, personal injury protection coverage, uninsured motorist benefits, underinsured motorist benefits, coverages like that? Are there any umbrella or excess insurance policies that may apply to your claims? Are there any public or government benefits that could provide you with compensation for your injuries? Identifying all of the sources of compensation is critical. It could take you from owing money to your medical providers to actually putting money in your pocket. Attorneys can also sometimes put more money in your pocket by getting your medical bills reduced. Depending on how your medical bills were charged and who provided the medical care, you may be entitled to a significant reduction of your medical bills, or you may not owe anything at all. Your attorney should take the lead on making sure that all of your medical bills are taken care of as part of your injury claim. And if you want to learn more about how to get your medical bills paid for after a car accident, I did a whole video on that topic, which I'll link to at the end of this one. Okay, so there are some ways that a lawyer can help you get more money, and there are some ways that a lawyer can help make sure as much of that money goes into your pocket as opposed to your medical providers. But let's not forget, the whole idea behind hiring a lawyer is to make sure that you get more money in your pocket than what you could get on your own if you did it yourself. And we all know that injury lawyers are going to take a percentage of the settlement as their attorney fee. And that percentage can range all the way from 1/3 on the low end all the way up to 40%. And in some cases, depending on what type of case it is and how long it takes to settle, it can go all the way up to 45% for some firms. And it only makes sense to pay that kind of fee if you're going to get at least that much value by bringing an attorney into your case. For example, if we go back to that insurance industry study and assume that you were able to get 3.5 times more with an attorney than without, then hiring an attorney is really a no-brainer, because even after you pay 1/3 or whatever the percentage is for the attorney's fee, you're going to net more in settlement than what you could get on your own. Say you were offered $10,000 after you were in a car accident and were injured, and that amount was too low to you. So you go and hire an attorney, and the attorney is able to negotiate with the insurance company to get you a settlement offer of $30,000, which is only 3 times as much as you were able to get on your own. And the attorney takes $10,000, or 1/3 of the recovery, as the attorney's fee. That leaves you with $20,000. And in that situation, you're still coming out ahead because you are netting $20,000, which is double what you would have been offered, or what you were offered before you ever hired an attorney. Now, no lawyer can guarantee you any specific result in an injury claim. And I'm not saying you're going to magically get 3.5 times more money or whatever just because you hire an attorney. All I'm saying is that in the right type of case, attorneys can add value, and that's something you should talk to a lawyer about. A good lawyer will tell you if he or she can add enough value to justify his or her fees. In fact, I tell people all the time when I don't think it's a good idea for them to hire me or another attorney, because I don't think that an attorney is going to be able to add enough value to justify the typical attorney fee, and I might just send them away with some pointers on how to do it themselves. Now, aside from helping you get fully compensated for your injuries, what are some other ways that an injury lawyer can help? Now, an experienced personal injury lawyer is also going to be able to help you find good medical providers who will not only provide you with excellent medical care so that you can get better, but they'll also stand by you and be a good patient advocate. And that can be important because some cases require an expert medical opinion that your injuries were caused by an accident or a traumatic event if you want to be compensated for those injuries. And for folks who don't have health insurance, a good personal injury lawyer is going to be able to help you find healthcare providers who will provide you with medical treatment but delay billing you until the end of your case so that you can focus on getting the medical treatment that you need and recovering from your injuries without having medical bills go into collections. Another benefit to having a lawyer on your side is you're going to have someone to deal with the insurance adjusters on your behalf. Now, you may have been contacted by an adjuster after the accident, and he or she may have seemed nice enough over the phone. He or she may have even assured you that they are going to take care of everything for you. But here's the thing to remember about insurance adjusters. They are not your friend. They have two jobs: protect their insured and pay you as little as possible in order to do so. They are trained to contact you as soon as possible after an accident because they know from insurance industry studies that 2/3 of the people who hire an attorney to help them with an injury case do so within 1 week of an accident. And they want to get to you before you get to an attorney because they know how much more they may have to pay you once you arm yourself with the knowledge and expertise that an attorney can bring to your side of the table. You have to remember that insurance adjusters are trained professionals. They have much more experience than you do in evaluating and negotiating injury claims, and sometimes they can be difficult to work with. Having an attorney deal with the insurance adjuster can level the playing field and take a lot of stress off your plate. Another way a personal injury lawyer can help is by making sure that your rights are protected. When you settle a claim with an insurance company, there's going to be paperwork involved. And if you don't understand what you're signing, you could inadvertently waive rights that you didn't intend to waive. For example, if you are signing a release for your property damage claim after a car accident, does that release also cover bodily injury claims that you haven't been compensated for? Does the release that you're signing also release any rights that you might have to go collect additional insurance proceeds from other insurance policies or other insurance coverages? Does it release additional parties that may be responsible for your injuries? A lawyer can help you avoid making mistakes on paperwork that could cost you a lot of money. Let's also not forget that you may need a lawyer to help you navigate the court system. Sometimes it's necessary to file a lawsuit and take a case to trial in order for you to get fairly compensated for your injuries. And in order to be successful in court, you need to have someone that has a working knowledge of the rules of evidence, the rules of civil procedure, and other court rules that are going to affect how your case gets decided. And then ultimately, if a lawsuit has to be filed, you need someone who can utilize the court procedures to move your case forward and effectively and persuasively present your case to a judge or jury. Now, all that being said, there are some situations where hiring an attorney may not be the best move. For example, if you were in a car accident like a fender bender that resulted in damage to your vehicle but nobody was injured in the car accident, then it may make more sense for you to handle that type of claim on your own. A car accident that only involves property damage is going to be a lot more simple than a car accident that involves a bodily injury. And generally speaking, hiring an attorney to handle your property damage claim is not going to add significant enough value to your property damage claim to justify the attorney fee that you're going to have to pay. If that's your situation, then you may want to check out my YouTube playlist on how to maximize your property damage settlement, where I go over all the steps you need to take to handle your property damage claim yourself. I'll put a link to that series at the end of this video. Another situation where it may not make a lot of sense to hire an attorney is where there are relatively minor injuries. If you were in a car wreck and you weren't injured, or you had relatively minor injuries, you got banged up, you had to go to urgent care and had a chiropractic visit or a follow-up or two, but everything was fine within a week, then you probably don't have a significant enough injury claim to warrant hiring an attorney. If an insurance company is offering you $500 or $1,000 on top of your medical bills for pain and suffering, you may be better off taking that as opposed to hiring an attorney who is just not going to be able to add a lot of value to a claim like that. But in situations where you've been hospitalized, or you've been to the ER, or you've had a significant amount of follow-up care, or you've had surgery, I would definitely recommend that you talk to an attorney in that kind of situation. If you have any question about whether your claim is significant enough to hire an attorney, I would go ahead and reach out to a few attorneys in your area. Virtually every attorney who does this kind of work offers free consultations, so there's really no downside to reaching out to an attorney, and a reputable lawyer is going to shoot you straight and tell you whether you have a claim that's significant enough to hire an attorney or not. If you want to talk to me about an injury case, feel free to give me a call or just shoot me a text or an email and I'll get back to you right away and we can set up a time to talk. Stay tuned for my next video where I'm going to cover tips on negotiating with insurance adjusters. That's all for now. We'll see you in the next video.